I think it was more of I'm going through the motions now, and I need to stop going through the motions and be more intentional with my days and how I wanted to design my life. That was the big unlock for me. It wasn't, I had a great childhood, and, from the outside looking in, I had a great life. I had a really good career. I had the nice cars, the nice condo, and successful business, but I just didn't feel fulfilled, and I wasn't passionate when I woke up in the morning. And triathlon gave me that, where I woke up in the morning, I had massive purpose, and I enjoyed the progression with it, just like I enjoy the progression in business. Like every day, I have this plan to execute on that's going to get me a little closer to my goal. And that first goal was just a sprint distance triathlon. Then it was a half Ironman. Then it was a full Ironman. Then it was getting to the World Championships. You keep moving the goalpost.
So got all the way to the World Championships. That's crazy. So, okay. So you said overweight in your 20s and now in your 40s, you said. But what was that? So you said high intensity exercise. That was the window into triathlons?
It was. So I hired a personal trainer in my late 20s to get back into shape because I didn't have the knowledge. I needed the structure. I needed the accountability. So I hired a personal trainer. Right. Yep, and form. I committed to a 6-month training program, 5 days per week, 6:30 a.m. It started with 30-minute training sessions, and gradually I built it to 1-hour training sessions. But I mean, those first few weeks were horrible. I was sore in every workout. I'm like, I don't want to go back the next day. I dreaded it. Right. But then in a weird way, you start to crave it. And I started to crave it. And then a CrossFit gym opened in my neighborhood, and I had been doing CrossFit type workouts without knowing what CrossFit was. Then I joined the CrossFit gym and got exposed to CrossFit early on. And that was a whole nother extreme of, wow, now I get to compete against others and do all of these workouts for time. And now I'm tracking everything. And then I got into triathlon. I hired a coach. And through my coach, I learned purposeful training, not just exercising to look a certain way, or it was purposeful training, and specifically zone 2 heart rate training. I did a lot of slower running, biking to build durability and to build aerobic capacity. And, that ultimately got me very fast in triathlon. And that was a really interesting lesson of slow down to speed up.
I wanted to hang on that too, because we preach it all the time in our practice. And when we tell people zone 2 and they're like, wait a minute, I think I know what zone 2 is, and that sounds like nothing. But no, zone 2 is suffering. It's suffering too, but it's a different suffering, right?
For sure, because you can do it for a long amount of time.
Right.
I went from doing 30-minute, 45-minute runs at a very high heart rate to doing 2-hour sessions, at a 130 heart rate. And, when I first started doing it, it didn't feel like I was getting benefit because I wasn't going harder than I went the day before. But you can stack volume day in and day out. And after 6 months, I started to notice the benefits. And then 4 years later, I massively noticed the benefits. I went from running about an 8:30 per mile pace at a 140 heart rate to running a 6:30 per mile pace at a 129 heart rate over a 4-year period.
Cow.
And I did very little speed work. It was just from volume.
Isn't that crazy? I think people need to hear that, especially in America. We're impulse buyers. We're need it now people. And to hear that slow down to speed up, I've never heard that. That makes sense and it's catchy. But yeah, spending that time at zone 2 to get there.